What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Cocktail Cockpits. Today we are in Miami. We are actually on the Miami River, a very exciting location. This is Casa, and I'm here with one of my soon-to-be very good friends, Manuel. How are you today, my friend?
Doing good. Thank you for coming.
Dude, thank you for
having you guys here.
Yeah, man, I've been trying to come here forever. How's everything going, though? Like, how's the spot?
The spot is great. You know, the Miami River is a little hidden gem of Miami. But we're seeing that there's a lot of activity happening. So Casa, we position ourselves strategically for that growth that we foresee coming. And it's been great so far.
Oh, we're about to go into season. You know, snowbirds start coming to town. They want to go to the right places. It feels like a cool spot.
Yeah.
Nice. So what's the concept here? What is Casa?
Casa, it's Mediterranean for a new home. We are in a Mediterranean concept, just like all the other venues that we have in the company. Focusing more on Mediterranean style food and the ambiance.
Okay. So the cuisine is essentially throughout the Mediterranean coast. So you have a little bit of like Italian, Spanish, Greek, and some of those like fun islands.
Yeah, I will focus more on towards like the Greek side of the Mediterranean, but the whole company overall, we trend into having Mediterranean concepts from the south of France to North Africa Mediterranean and so on. So that's our DNA.
Love that. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's delicious food, keeps you looking good, right?
Oh, yeah.
So how long have you been bartending, actually?
Bartending, it's a little over 15 years.
Wow.
I started back in New York. I got introduced to the restaurant industry very young. My parents owned a Colombian restaurant in Queens.
Oh, nice.
As a little boy, you know, being in the restaurant world, you know, helped out from doing deliveries locally to washing dishes and, you know, just fell in love with the hospitality aspect of it.
Really engraves you into the culture of it, you know?
100%. And being able to literally make something with your hands and then give it to people and nurture them, that was something that was very rewarding.
I like that you said nurturing, because essentially, you know, that's what we're doing. We're nurturing, we're providing an experience.
Yeah.
You know it from the foundation of it, so it's pure. And then, like you said, you know, when you give it to them, it's like that whole process, and then you see the reaction. So like that.
Exactly. Yeah. And you make a connection with the people you're serving. What you do comes from a good place, from your heart. People feel that, and people come back to you. And in my opinion, that's the essence of hospitality. Doing things genuinely, despite of like what is the thing you're transacting, but more of the energy and the holistic approach that you have to what we love doing.
That's incredible. I feel the same way. So what's your favorite cocktail?
Really depends on the time of the day,
where you're at,
context. You know, I love cocktails. I love wine. I love beer. But if I have to choose one, it'll probably have to be a Hemingway daiquiri.
Oh, a Hemingway daiquiri. We were just talking about that earlier today.
Yeah.
It's a great drink. I'm a big fan of daiquiris myself.
I love that. The fact that it's not as sweet. It has a hint of the maraschino, so it has an accent. I always say that things with an accent are better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal cocktail. You can have it before dinner, during dinner, after dinner.
It's an all-day drinker too, that's for sure. Amazing, man. What do you like to do outside of hospitality when you're not behind the bar or working in the restaurant?
That's a good question. Lately, I've been just committed and very much into growing all our concepts. I love the creative side of it, but I'm big enthusiast in physical activity. So, for example, one of my hobbies is snowboarding.
No way, dude. I love snowboarding.
We don't have any snow in Miami, so, you know, I have to, you know, try to pick up another board.
Where do you go for snowboarding?
Last time when I went to visit some friends in Aspen, they hooked me up over there, so that was fun.
I usually go to Lake Tahoe. That's where my girlfriend's from. So
nice. I haven't been to California to snowboard yet. But growing up in New York, you know, we had that East Coast shitty snow. So I learned during those conditions, but I loved it.
It's good because when you go to the good snow, you're like crushing it. And you're like, whoa, this is amazing.
Yeah. But here in Miami, I love rock climbing. I got big into bouldering.
They have some good areas here.
We just opened a few good gyms in the area, so I'm very happy when they opened. And yeah, just working out, enjoying the
physical activities.
You know,
great. Girls, you know, it nourishes you, so that way you can nourish everyone else.
Exactly. You gotta sharpen the axe if you want to keep cutting wood.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. That's amazing, dude. Anything else you want to share with us?
Overall, the company is relatively young.
Yeah.
However, we are growing very quickly, and ownership and the executive team, they're investing heavily in all the departments, the beverage and the bar being one of them. We recently opened a centralized production kitchen where we do all our batches, all our volume of cocktails without jeopardizing quality.
That's great.
Normally, if you're familiar working in restaurants, the bar always gets a little corner And the
walk-in.
kitchen,
I
yeah.
have like the smallest area in the fridge, the smallest area in the kitchen. Like it's like, how do you expect me to produce the same level of cocktail that you have of food?
Yeah.
You don't allocate the same level of storage, prep, and all that.
So traditionally, I guess bars have always gotten the short end of the stick.
100%.
And with the
We're
new
here to
trend-
change that.
Exactly, yeah. So with the new trends of cocktail makers and a lot of mixologists, bartenders, however you want to call it, we're having a more culinary approach to making cocktails. So using ingredients like mushrooms and cheese, different types of herbs and doing everything fresh in house is absolutely elevating the product that we're producing, and is it earning us that respect from our culinary counterparts in the back of the house. So there's a lot of companies that invest more for serious bar program where you have a dedicated area where you could have all your concoctions, if I may.
How many establishments do you guys have that it makes sense to have a commissary area, off-site, where you're able to produce all these things?
So right now we have Mila. It's a machine. Within Mila, there's 4 concepts. We have the restaurant, which is the rooftop.
Yeah.
We do anywhere between 900 to 1,000 covers on a Saturday, 600.
I've seen the line outside.
Yeah, it's insane. It gets packed. So it's a high volume place. We also have on the second floor our lounge and our members club, 2 different concepts under one same roof. And not too long ago, we opened our omakase, which is a tasting menu. It seats 11 people, being run by our chef Reggie, and he's very, very, very good at what he does. We're doing a lot of collaborations there with, Massimo Bottura and Dominic Cran, a few different high-level chefs to kind of draw attention to the omakase.
That's very cool. I wasn't aware you had so many concepts at Mila. I thought it was just 2. I thought it was just the restaurant and like a club lounge.
No, we have the other 2, the members club and the omakase. So that's sometimes could be considered 4 venues under one roof. Then on top of that, we have Casa.
Here is how many concepts you have here.
Casa right now is 1 concept, and we are currently doing an update to our beach club, which will be our members club. So think of Mila on the second floor, bar outdoor with the beautiful Miami River next to you, so you're able to kind of create a different vibe. I don't want to say Tulum-ish, but you get the idea.
Right.
From then, right on the rooftop, we're opening another concept called Nura, which is the North African, Mediterranean African concept. That should be coming up next year.
Cool.
And so we'll definitely keep you in the loop.
A lot of exciting things happening.
Yeah. We just finalized a concept, or we're under construction of a new restaurant in Brickell called Claudie. It's right on Brickell Avenue, around like 10th Street. And that will be a French concept with Saint-Tropez, Monaco area to be the main focus.
Oh, it sounds like you have a lot of work to do.
It keeps you on my toes, but I love it.
That's awesome, dude. That's incredible. Well, why don't we check out your bar and see what Casa is about?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Let's go check it out.
All right. So we are behind the Cocktail Cockpit at Casa, and walk us through it. Show us this cool station. This is a monster cockpit over here. You can really get a lot done over here.
Yes. So, as you know, we're a high volume place, and efficiency and thoughtfulness behind setting up your bar is the key. For bartenders, for you have a successful shift, you need to have everything, within maybe a 2-step walk.
2-step.
One thing that is not in this video is the system that we arrange with the organization of the staff is very important too for efficiency. Not only obviously the cockpit, but the way we organize ourselves. So, for example, we have a lead bartender at the bar with a walkie, and that person is able to communicate directly with our bar backs. They're also in the walkies on the fly if we need anything.
Oh, nice.
The idea behind that is the bartender will never leave the cockpit, and that makes efficiency and that makes a guest experience better. There's never worse when a bartender has to walk out and figure out where something is, where it should have been here the whole time.
And I like how the lead bartender has the walkies to communicate. That way it's a system, that way the bartender here can communicate to him what he needs, and then he can determine if somebody else needs it, if like how important it is, and then he can tell him, hey, I need this. And then it's not the bar back getting all the bartenders like, hey, I need this, hey, I need this, hey, I need this, and hey, I need this.
Exactly.
He can kind of, determine what's more important first, what needs to be done, and he can help manage that.
Correct.
Cool.
And then we have that same in the same channel, our lead bartender downstairs and in the other bars, they're all in the communication. So when anybody needs anything, they're all aware of what's going on in the whole building instead of being incommunicated. That communication is the most important thing in a relationship.
I agree.
So
Communication is key.
oh yeah. Also, if you could tell here, there's a little bit of a double-sided tape. This is what we use, to put tickets. Our lead bartenders, or for example, if a manager needs to jump in and help out, instead of the manager making drinks, which is the bartender's job, the manager could take an order, put it in, you get a ticket, and you immediately just give it to the queue.
Put it on queue.
Drink. Yeah, exactly. Where the bartender's job is solely to make drinks.
Produce drinks.
You know?
Love that.
So that's part of the system, part of the organization. Obviously,
so besides the station itself, you have a system to organize the way and the procedures that people function behind the bar.
Yeah. And sometimes those are things that are not necessarily very obvious, although to you and me might seem obvious. But for some people, when they're designing, the human element is the most important. You know, because you could have the best station, but if you don't have that
need a system to operate it.
Exactly. So we spend a lot of time in training.
I love
when
that.
It comes to that. Now, as far as the setup itself is all for efficiency. This specific station is designed to have 2 bartenders working side by side. You all know as a bartender the horrors of sharing a well with somebody. So we divided in a well where bartender on the left side has ice in the right in front of them, and bartender on the right has ice for them. They both share the cheater well and the crushed ice.
Love that.
Now, obviously,
sometimes the cheaters are on the right or on the left, so then that's hard for somebody who's left-handed or right-handed. And then if you're sharing a well, you have to reach in front of each other. So I like how it's in the middle here. So then you can share the things that are.
And you could all just do a beautiful choreography. And
we would.
Exactly. That's the idea. And when you're able to do that successfully, it's a beautiful thing to witness.
It is, yeah. You know, if you're going to wait for a drink, you might as well be entertained.
Exactly. So having both things in each side is very convenient for the bartenders, again, to not cross each other.
Exactly. I have my sink here, you have your sink there.
Exactly. Not only the sink, but you have your own set of tools that mirror each side. So I
like these things. These things are pretty cool. These little custom holders for your tools that hang out over here.
Yep. So sometimes you're given a bar that might not be the best for efficiency, and that's where your creativity as an operator or manager, you have to come in and try to figure out what are the best ways that I could maximize the output out of this one specific well. And working with maybe custom design steel makers, you're able to create things like these little cubbies that we fill with sandy solution during the shift. So your tools are always sanitized.
Right.
Then at the end of the shift, you're able to dump it out and run it through the machine.
There you go.
That creates,
you don't have to look for your strainer. As I said, strainer.
Yeah.
It's always going to be right over here. You also keep your spoon and your tongs in here as well. It's very cool.
Yeah. So the idea for a well thought out cockpit is for you to be able to operate it without looking. And you just stand, make drinks without having to look where your things are.
Yeah,
and that's the idea for
everything has a designated home.
Yeah, we also pick, the 500 milliliter square bottles.
Yeah,
I feel like they stack and fit very well with each other, especially when you have a space.
It's very uniform too.
Yeah,
like that you can maximize the space by having more bottles.
Yeah,
I love that.
And then for the speed rail, we have a double rail. Our batches are color coded, so we are able to identify what's what. But in the best case scenario, you wouldn't even need the color codings if
you do know where it is because of placement.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
color is just in case.
It's training wheels for some people, but it definitely helps. And yeah, this is our cockpit.
It's incredible. Yeah, I love it. I love how you have everything so neatly organized. Everything is very accessible. This is a great station, man.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Thank you.
I want to see it in action.
To notice, we have a extra wide rail. This absolutely helps us with the execution and build of drinks. Sometimes these rails are overlooked, and having one that is set up for not only speed but organization and for you to be able to systematically build your rounds is very important.
And you have a lot of real estate to work with. Sometimes you get the little rail, like you need more space to be able to produce.
Yeah, we've all worked with those rails and we've learned the struggles.
Good, and then now we don't have to anymore.
Yeah, thank God.
Amazing. Well, let's see some cocktails. Let's see what this baby can do.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.